add my.
So we are live. Thanks everyone for coming to the community meeting. Today is October 26th. So we have 3 people on the call, and we also have Adam who tries to join. So hopefully he will be able to join during the meeting. And yes, we have a few topics in our agenda, and the first one is Oktoberfest from Avzal, and then we will have a quite packed agenda for community logistics topics.
Cool.
Okay, sorry for interrupting. So now we can proceed and we are on the record. So basically, Avzal, you were talking about Oktoberfest status in the Keptn community, right? So basically, what happened there, we put some repositories for Oktoberfest, like website, Keptn Lifecycle Controller, a few other bits. There were minor updates to contributing guidelines here and there, good first issues. But at the same time, we haven't actively promoted the project for Oktoberfest. So we didn't do much social media about that, etc. So this is definitely something I would like to see, but yeah, this year it was basically bandwidth issues for me and for others. Still, we get some contributions coming because we are discoverable on Oktoberfest website, etc. Because we have everything configured as needed. So this is basically the status. Yeah, my personal opinion that we should have participated more, at least with some social media outreach, etc. So the reasons why we couldn't participate more is just bandwidth. And yeah, so if we have more people actively driving such programs in the community, it would be better for us. So for this event, yeah, I think it's 26. I will be pushing social media for the Halloween website update. So as one of the Oktoberfest items. But for the rest, I think our key takeaway is that we should facilitate it more. And well, it's not just Oktoberfest. There are other events. For example, there is Advent of Code starting in late November, I believe. So this is a way we could do a bit more.
Did you have something specific you wanted to work on, Afsal?
Basically, yeah, I was quite sometime busy with contributing to open source projects. Basically, Hackerboard first for this month, and yeah, so just like looking for good first issues on Keptn project, like the Hackerboard page. That is the cool thing is that you also understand the project's scenario while contributing to any project. So yeah, we have you just mentioned like from Oleg that we have life cycle controller and other stuffs we have, maybe tutorials we have. So I had a great experience like contributing, and also I had two PRs merged in Keptn core. That is great experience learning from the contributions in this period, this October month. And basically we can focus like just as mentioned by or like we can also could have share some on social medias talking about this some issues, particular issues on uh, social media, like we could choose some particular issues from our repositories, and we can share those things maybe on this Twitter or somewhere else. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy that I have completed my this event participation. So yeah.
So thanks. So yeah, when you contribute to Keptn, you still get all the contributions recorded. Yeah. Next time we could do a bit more. So I can show quickly what we do in Jenkins. So in Jenkins we have a separate page for Oktoberfest. So,
Yeah.
well, I used to run this program there. Now I believe it's Mark and Jean-Marc driving it. So here we basically have a landing with some aggregator, quick start, and also some
Issues. Yeah.
content that helps contributors to focus. So, for example, we just say what is the scope, but really we recommend some issues suggested for
Yeah.
Oktoberfest. And another thing that we do, so it's basically just query across multiple organizations. So I can easily do the same for Keptn. And then we
Mhm.
also have featured projects. So it's just a small number of projects where we recommend contributing. So for us, let's say, given the current state, it could be, it could be Keptn website, a number of integration services, Keptn lifecycle controller, maybe something else. But yeah, for each area, we just get some summary, also links, etc. And this approach has been helpful to focus the contributions. So
More
in
and less.
theory,
Mhm.
yeah. So I could do the same for Jenkins, or so for Keptn. I mean, what we could do, we could have this page even regardless of Oktoberfest, because this page can be also could be just another landing for newcomer contributors. So currently we have Keptn SH community contributing, I guess. Yeah, this one. But this page, yeah, it's not very focused on newcomer contributors right now. Well, it is to some extent, but what we could do for such mass hacking programs, when people look for really short tasks instead of common contributing guidelines, we could create this page, for example, put it on the community repository. And regardless of Oktoberfest, we could just gradually grow it. So, for example, here you could have hackathons or whatever, or
Yeah.
events. There we put Oktoberfest. Just I can more or less copy the structure we have on Jenkins, and then it basically remains the same over the time. So everyone is
Yeah.
welcome to participate.
We can update the next year as well, like depending upon the
Yeah.
hackathons.
Yeah, so this page could be just kept as is. It well, we can even if I do that, I would do it quite generic. So it's Oktoberfest basically, and anything else. So that basically it remains always open,
Yeah.
and then we can basically maintain it from time to time. So any maintainer who wants to highlight something specific, they come update this repository via pull request, and we help to promote from social media and other activities.
Yeah. And also you can see the use also must use topic in the right corner. So you can also use the level for that as well. Oktoberfest.
Mm, yeah, I'm just noting for myself.
Okay.
Uh, it doesn't have to be me. It's actually good, a good first issue. Okay. Does it
Yeah.
work for you?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think we
Mm,
can. issues.
So this feature is actually quite handy in these regards. Mhm. So anything else we could do for Hacktoberfest or any additional feedback you would like to share?
I think yes. I think from then we can share these things on social media, particularly sharing some, uh, putting some issues, or tagging some issues, maybe from life cycle controller we have. So yeah, we can do that another way as well. But you can see another comment from Adam. Tider Cora for Keptn lifecycle.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to
Okay.
do a killer coda tutorial on the lifecycle controller?
Do you mean doing it as a part of Hacktoberfest?
No, this is not that one, because I can assume that yeah, this one has been shared, or maybe I was tagged. This was a message from Adam. I can share that issue as well.
Adam, I have the chat window open. If you want to say anything, just type
Yeah.
it in there and I'll make sure it gets
Oh, yeah.
vocalized.
So yeah, just to address this topic, we definitely want to have killer coda for Keptn lifecycle controller.
Yeah. Yeah, I just share on the chat as well.
Wait a minute. I'm not seeing a spot for Oleg anymore, but he still shows on the attendee list.
Yes, I can.
I think he got knocked because he shows with no video, but he does show with audio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, just now Adam just updated on the comment that saying that he's dropping in and out, trying to fix his mic.
Am I audible?
Yes, and
Yeah, so
visible.
the thing that I have no one blame except for myself. I just pushed the cable occasionally, and basically the whole docking station went down. Um,
Oh, Lord.
yeah, there are some deficiencies in my setup right now. Yes, so for Killer Code and Keptn Lifecycle Controller, of course, we want to have it, and we need to actually have it soon. So we had some discussion about it yesterday, I believe, on the team meeting, because Marek and Adam were now on the same team. But yeah, I will be bringing it to the community what we need to do there in order to kick it off. Because of course, one of the problems is that Keptn Lifecycle Controller is a moving target. So we need to be careful about how much efforts we invest in tutorials. But we definitely want to invest in tutorials.
Carry on. Change the computer and it works now.
Ah,
So all you need to do is buy a new laptop.
piece of cake.
Okay, so basically my last recommendation, change to the laptop, worked.
Buy a Mac and everything
Yeah,
works.
so in Bebe it's a bit complicated, and yeah, I'm not sure what's the CNCF opinion on Bebe, but the continuous delivery foundation will likely be moving out of Bebe soon. So we tried to move, then basically cost to benefits ratio is quite low according to them. So maybe we'll move back to Zoom and Meetup.com or another solution. So it's just for your information. Yeah. So then, what else we have for killer code and lifecycle controller?
Oh no, sorry, I was dropping in and out, so I probably it was probably covered, but I just thought it would be nice. But you're absolutely right. It's very early days, so if there's better places to put the effort, then let's put the effort there, and let's see how the lifecycle controller goes, because it is really a POC at the moment.
Yeah.
I think
So,
there's plenty of effort to go on the documentation and all of the other things.
Yeah, so what I was thinking about, so maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, I would like to have a kind of workshop to have a kind of online contributor summit for those who are not able to go to KubeCon, basically all of us participating on this call, so that we can discuss Keptn lifecycle controller and basically the future of Keptn. So there were a lot of discussions in the community day. I'm not 100% sure we will get videos of all these discussions because, well, we basically more hope that Enric Rexet did a recording because yeah, we didn't have a recording by the CNCF at the event. But in any case, we will have another conversation. And I will keep pushing to have some of the beats on GitHub discussions so that everyone can participate synchronously. So in Keptn lifecycle controller, there is also GitHub discussions which you can join. Yeah, just a second. I'm not very used to work from the touchpad on this laptop. Yeah, so if you go to lifecycle controller, and basically there are discussions, and basically maybe it's a good place to put your topic for killer coder tutorials, and then we can get some initial feedback and about how and when we could do that.
Yeah, I actually created an issue, but it might have been better as a discussion. So
I can transfer it if you want.
and Afzal, mate, I just tagged you because I know you've got a lot of experience with the other killer code. I know you know what's going on. So, if you don't want it, cool. If you do, it's just really it was just an FYI. I wasn't trying to say get on and do it.
Mm-mm. But if you wanted to do it, we know nobody would do it better. So, but no pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with all of you here. And just like, some kind of experience, doing hacking with Killer Coda, that really, somehow, you know, uh, understood the process of, the Killer Coda tutorial and creating tutorial under the hood. So then we can do it collaboratively because somewhere I have to find the suggestion. I know the technology which are behind this life cycle controller. So uh, I think we can like first of all try to expose these things on our own locally. And once this works in our local system, maybe we can turn these things into tutorial for anyone.
It might actually be a bit early to make the tutorial. You hit a good point there because if they start changing too much, the effort is wasted on the tutorial. We've just got to keep going round and round and round. So let's wait until they're at a version that they're saying is stable, and then we'll maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will work with the team to see what we could communicate back. But yeah, I would expect that we make a call after Keptn, because now there is a lot of live discussions, and well, you never know what could be the outcome of these live discussions. Mhm. Okay.
I've got another question that I asked on text, but since everyone's here, the KEP, changing the KEPs and merging the PRs, new KEPs, how will they be raised? Will they be issues or will they be pull requests?
Okay, I can then. So I have this topic in the agenda. I'm just moving it up so that we can just quickly go through that. Yeah. So basically, my idea would be. So I'm just. Do you see my screen? So this is the discussion Adam is talking about restructuring the Keptn enhancement proposals. So there, basically, my proposal is to merge all these pull requests, at least those that include valuable information. Oh, sorry, enhancement proposals. So there are these pull requests. I would like to merge them, and instead of having them indefinitely without unclear status, unclear to everyone, to contributors, to users, we put a kind of status stable similar to what we have in Jenkins. Sorry that I refer to Jenkins many times every meeting, but yeah. We invested quite a lot of time there in community governance and roadmap management. So here, for example, for each Jenkins enhancement proposal, we have a kind of status table with explicit status, maybe some comments, and then all this text. Basically, when we go through the process, we just update the status, uh, create some dates, versioning history if it's needed, but it remains in the merged document. It still creates some issues, for example, because collaboration, it's not the best way to collaborate through pull requests and to get feedback through pull requests, but it's what we have in Jenkins. And what I think that in Keptn it would be also beneficial to just have everything merged, because as you can see, some caps get submitted, there is little to no feedback in these caps, and they basically stay indefinitely. And by now we know that some of these caps will never be implemented. At least the contributors have abandoned them with various reasons, including just time or change of priorities. And I would like to merge everything, and then for new caps, basically start using GitHub issues like this one. So this one is, for example, for Keptn usage analytics engine. And the idea that, yeah, so there is GitHub issue for initial discussion, or maybe even GitHub discussion that we transfer here over the time. And then we keep summary here. And then we use this issue for tracking purposes. And when we update the spec, etc., which is expected to happen, it will be just pull requests referencing this issue. And actually, it's quite transparent because, for example, if you search for issue 60, you will be still sent to the pull request, which is the old format. So it means that to some extent, for navigation purposes, we can still rely on this URL when you look for cap ID.
Yeah, I like that, to be honest. I think an issue or a discussion, the barrier to entry is a lot lower than a pull request. If you're just trying to suggest an idea or give feedback, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, my approach would be that. So one thing that we have no GitHub discussion in the enhancement proposals, because I think that it creates additional silo. Instead of that, I think that we should have all the discussions here. For example, I have a proposal for Keptn Lighthouse subproject, which is clearly should be a Keptn enhancement proposal if we proceed with that. But I can easily transfer this discussion, so I can create an issue from this discussion like that. And well, I can do it right now. Why not? So I create an issue, then transfer this issue to enhancement proposals. And voila, I have a cap 87.
That's really nice because Keptn becomes the funnel, the the initial everything goes in there, and then we can split it out. But at least we've seen it. At least it doesn't go into some. Some of these repositories are less visited than others, so things can get missed as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and basically here, I can easily apply some tags. I will also put it on the roadmap, for example, and say it's in the refinement state because it is. And then everything we develop, etc., can be linked. So yeah, in just 1 minute, I converted. Okay.
Perfect.
So
That
if
feels
this approach works, I will probably cut this part of the video separately, publish it to the team, reference from this issue, and if everyone agrees, I will proceed with refactoring because the current approach is just a maze for me. Okay, does it work for everyone? May I have
Yep.
help?
No, all good. I think that's everything from my side.
Okay, so we have some time left. Yeah, just a few quick things. So first of all, as we discussed before, we are doing Halloween website update. Thanks to Mac for announcing it. And basically, it includes two parts. So first part is just basically restructuring website. So we will be enabling for Keptn 1.0 LCS, including moving documentation under the version thing. Then maybe introducing latest branch because we need it for CO, like brought up by someone. We will archive all tutorials. So there is again proposal on how to do that. And if thanks a lot. But yeah, so I think that it's something we need to do, and I agree with you that tutorial shell is what we are going to do. So basically, I will convert everything to Markdown, put the latest version of the tutorial with explicit target version, and then everyone will be able to access it through Markdown. And if something is missing there, well, they will be able to just contribute as before. And moreover, when we have the new documentation engine, we will be able to easily consume this documentation and represent it in the new documentation engine. So I think that it would be a good approach for us. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else we have in this update? So yeah, there is one item. We also want to have some backend things. For example, rename the main branch from master to main, and also bump Hugo to the recent version. So story about that is that for KubeCon, I was tinkering with this panel. So too long didn't read. I do not want to ever patch the layout again for this website. But other takeaway that maybe by updating to the new Yuga version at least, we could gradually start adopting the standard components and templates. Because now for Yuga there is a huge list of different snippets we could reuse, but none of these snippets is compatible with our Yuga version. So we need to update, then we get the syntax for importing snippets. I forgot what is the term used in Fuga. And then once we get it enabled, we will just proceed. Okay. So
Interrupting, we have somebody just joined us, Anshu Pandey,
Yeah.
who looks like they're muted also.
Mhm.
Welcome, perhaps want to just lurk. Okay, I'll shut
Yeah,
up
so
for that.
Mhm. Okay, so I'll quickly finish them. So as we discussed with Avzal, for Oktoberfest, I want to at least do some minor beats, call for participation. But the thing that they shouldn't contribute to Keptn documentation because we want to create a kind of massive restructuring there. So instead of that, I would rather suggest that they focus on other areas of documentation like artifact hubs, integration services, and also Keptn lifecycle controller. So for that, if you would like to create some issues for documentation, etc. So for lifecycle controller, I have a hackathon today, hopefully, to restructure it, my personal hackathon. But then there will be tickets for creating more follow-up documentation. So if you have some items you would like to get in services, etc. So there is a search here. I will actually add the sandbox repository also. But yeah, mm, please just add more tickets, etc., where you would like to see something happen. So now it's better. So just create issues, and I will be relying on default filters to find them. So no other special items needed if you want to get some contributions. Mhm. Questions, comments?
No, it's good. There's plenty of integration options still open in the integrations repo. There's probably 20 or 30 tools that we could, or someone could investigate. There's plenty of
You mean
easy ways.
webhook ones?
Yeah, webhook or job executor service. I don't think there's anything that can't be done with those two.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you. So yeah, so feel free to create issues. Yeah. Still, we don't want to overburden people, but yeah, having some references would be nice. And yeah, thanks a lot to Matt for driving to this documentation reorg. So soon we will have a big bump that will improve the situation. By the way, check out the presentation from Mac. So yesterday there was a presentation at the Keptn Community Day, but it was pre-recorded, so it's already available on the YouTube. Mac, anything from you?
No, actually, one quick question. It gets talked about, and I don't know that there's actually a formal issue, but while we're messing with the website, to have an actual download page that would show at the top level page. Is that something that we're even interested in? And if we are, is it something we should think about do? I'm thinking that if we want to do it, it's not disruptive to do it later on. We're doing stuff this weekend that's going to break and be disruptive, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. So actually, I want to restructure the link for the website. Yeah. Uh, so you're basically asking about the landing, right?
Pardon?
You're asking about the landing for the website?
Right. Yeah.
So here, what I would like to do, well, basically change navigation and maybe change some layout. So for me, one of the ideas I have is that we want to highlight sub projects. So lifecycle controller, Keptn Lighthouse, documentation. So maybe again, I would use a similar approach like we have in Jenkins. So basically here we have community and some projects that links to working groups and to sub-projects. Here I would rather merge it. Well, even in Jenkins, I would merge it, to be honest. So something like would just have sub projects and have all working groups and projects listed there. And so this is for navigation pane. And for the main pane, to be honest, I'm not sure how much we want to rework it right now. But yeah, I think that gradually we could also improve it. I'm not a big fan of these single page designs, but yeah, this is what we have. And like, do you have anything in mind for reworking that?
For that, I'm not much of a web page. I find it odd that most pages it seems like we get there's a download. Jenkins has just a download link up at their top, don't they?
Yeah, so we have quick start. I think that we can have a so we have an additional information for downloads because we are going to hit the same issue as Jenkins. We are going to have two release lines, one for LTS, another one for Jenkins, and here we could do like that. So the value additional for Keptn. So obviously we won't have many distributions for Keptn, at least I hope so. But we already have some items for deploying in the cloud. So for example, Siva has integration for deploying Keptn quickly. There is one on Azure created by somebody. So maybe we could list this additional, even if not community supported, ways to deploy Keptn quickly. Does it make sense?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We'll keep working on it.
Mm. So yeah, maybe I will rename this button to get started and create another one, download Keptn or install Keptn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Trying to find it now. I just read in the doc there's a place where we say to download from here, and you go to that link, and it's basically the release notes, and you scroll down a couple of screens, and then there's a list of assets, and the assets are actually downloadable bundles or something. But
Yeah.
it's it was like I just felt like I had to do an awful lot of work to find the download button.
Well, I would say that in theory you're not supposed to download because you are supposed to use Helm.
Right.
At least it would be my expectation for
Okay, yeah,
99%
that's true. Yeah,
of
we
cases.
don't, and Helm downloads it for you, and you don't need it. So
Yeah, so yeah, you might want to download Keptn CLI, but again, there is a wrapper script.
yeah,
Well, never trusted the wrapper scripts, but okay. And also there is a separate install CLI guideline. Well, we have Homebrew, we have just
and
publishing.
well, wait a minute. Let's not do too much on the document that is about to get destroyed. You're back in installation now. Okay, you had the quick start up before.
Yeah.
Which
So
is going to be
personally,
my
I'm
first
perfectly
PR
fine with
after
this.
I
Actually, we
reorganize
can
is to
just
kill that.
move some of items of installations to install guide over
Uh-huh.
time. But yeah, I think that overall it's perfectly nice. Fine.
We
So
should
here
look
you
at,
would basically have
but
a
this
stack
is going to be gone. Let's look at what we've got for Explore Keptn. I think we do. There we say if you like this, and we put them to the install docs. But
Mhm. So you want to put Explore Keptn on the main page? I think it's something we could do. So basically, Explore Keptn, use Killer Coda, install Keptn,
we're
and
going to
then
rename that to be Quick Start, right?
oh, okay. So as you wish.
I don't care. I don't like that. I hate quick starts. They just bug me. But everybody around here seems to love them so much that I said, okay, we live with quick start.
Okay. So of course, if it was quick, then it would make it point. But this one is also not quick. So maybe it's something like getting started or learning basics. But yeah, I agree that we can actually rename it.
we've got the URL. I think it, or at least it was in other places like the CLI. So we'll at least need a redirect. If that page disappears, we'll at least need a redirect to wherever.
Yep. So this is why I suggest doing it during the Halloween update. So we can tinker. We have this redirects file as one of the options. I'm not 100%. I believe that it still works, but you can see that it basically redirect for Netlify. But we can also put it here, or we can put all the redirects directly in tomls. So, for example, Netlify toml. Here we can also define redirects.
And are we making the cut on how many previous versions in the docs, or is it just going to be LTS? Are we? Because right now I think there's like 3 previous versions.
I think
the plan is that will continue.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see no point in removing versions on the web interface. I would show just 2 or 3 versions. But yeah, so for me it's LTS, the latest and greatest, which is probably will be LTS in the beginning, but then probably will go beyond LTS when we decide to do so in the community, and maybe 1 archived versions. So I can basically speak for my employer because we have a product called Cloud Automation, and this product is currently on version 16 of Keptn. So the upgrade to 0.19 is pending. So as one of adopters of Keptn, I would kindly ask to keep this version on the website, at least for now, so that users of Cloud Automation, who are also legit Keptn users, could access to this information. But yeah, this is basically, so we would need to ask Crateo Platform Ops team, they also bundle Keptn. So if they want to have explicit link to this version and on the list, we can keep it. But overall, we can drastically reduce the number of public links. We can exclude some of all the versions from indexing by search bots, because for me, it's a huge pain at the moment. So whenever you look for Keptn documentation, you end up something like in version 0.8, etc. For that, I would just basically ignore all the versions by default except latest and LCS. So this is something we can tinker with, but yeah, I think that it would be beneficial.
I think what we eventually want, but we were going to wait for the new doc engine, was that only latest would show would on the landing page, and then there would be a drop down for older releases, and on there you could choose the others.
Yeah, I would say latest and LCS, but yeah, nevertheless, it would be just 1 or 2 versions then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to join the discussion, just jump in. It's very informal meeting, so everyone is welcome.
And Anshu is muted. Do you mean to be muted? Because other people have been having problems.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, Anshu.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Good. Does everybody else know you except me?
I don't know.
Currently, I'm a student. I'm a 3rd year BTech student.
Mm-hmm. So you're interested in contributing or participating to Keptn, or do you use it?
Say loudly, sir. Loudly.
Mm-hmm.
Say loudly.
Sorry. I just didn't get it.
It's your mic turns down when you're typing on the keyboard, Oleg, so it really goes quiet.
Okay, so
Oleg was saying, are you looking to contribute or get involved with the Keptn project? Or?
Yeah, I'm starting one project based on ML.
Mm-hmm. which is quite interesting. And yeah, for us, we are definitely starting the new JSOC cycle soon. So we can invest in Google Summer of Code. There might be other initiatives for formal mentorship, for example, on LFX mentorship site. Well, even of that, I'm still trying to get JSOC money there, but yeah. Apart from that, I got access to most of the training. So if you're interested to participate, you're more than welcome.
Can I take one snap, guys?
Pardon?
One snap.
Go ahead.
Can I take one snap?
You mean just weekly pitch the project, right?
Right.
Or what? A snapshot? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Done.
All right.
Okay. So yeah.
Sir, can you give some review how to start for placement?
So generally, if you want to start, there are contributing guidelines,
What thing is important for placement?
particularly for what?
What thing is important for placement?
So guys, I still
I'm
do.
saying what thing is important for placement? Can you help me?
For placement.
Yeah.
Yes, so for placement in the universities, etc. So how it usually works? There are a number of programs like Google Summer of Code, etc. Usually, Indian students do them before the placement, and then so basically they have placement exams, etc. in July, I believe. And basically, when they have all this expertise, etc., they come to the placement and say that, hey, this is what I want to do. Here are some referrals, etc., and we start searching for opportunities. And sometimes, yeah, the communities also help. So, for example, we have a few end users based in India, including companies, and basically, when they have an established contributor, etc., it's better for placement. But if you ask, we do not hire directly in the project. First of all, we just do not have budgets. It's an open source project. It operates basically on its own, usually on very low cash flow. We do have an opportunity to do temporary internships if we are interested in the project, and we can shake some trees to find budget for that. But yeah, no, we do not hire per se in the project. We still can help with some background, with referrals, etc. So this is what I'm happy to do for every contributor, and I also committed to do some referrals, for example, as a follow-up to Google Summer of Code.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is basically the approach usually open source projects take. There are only a few projects that you can hire directly. I can send a few links, but usually it's something like open source internship, etc. And then maybe either joining one of the contributing companies or just joining another end user company, of course, with all the referrals, etc. from other contributors. Okay, does it answer your question?
No.
I think I'm going to drop off. Thank you very much, as usual, for the time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Adam.
So, yeah, just quick ask to those on the call where there is open discussion about Keptn governance. I would appreciate any feedback. And then we are going to roll forward with the Keptn LCS release, but we discussed it so many times. Just check the post, everything is hopefully up to date there. So that's it. And I guess see you in 1 week at the developer meeting. And yeah, in the developer meeting, I think it will be heavily focused on Keptn Lifecycle Controller and the follow-ups from the conference next week. At least this is what I am asking the team for.
Yeah. And Anshu, you're more than welcome to join. Obviously, all of these calls are public.
Thank you, Adam.
You can
Thank you, Adam.
join any of them. And yeah, if you want to get started with Keptn, have a look at the website, have a play around, and obviously join the Slack channel, and then we can feedback and get assistance there and get you involved. Cool. Right, I'm going to drop off.
Okay. Take
Thanks all.
care. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.